All right, I think we're gonna get started here. Um, I'm just gonna sit like this so people can see me a little bit. All right, so good afternoon. Okay, um, if you don't mind, can you please mute so that? Thank you. All right. Well, good afternoon. Uh, my name is Manoj Patil. I'm the founder and CEO of New Horizon. I'm also the president at Little Priest Tribal College in Winnebago, Nebraska. Started this company in 2008, March 31st, 2008. It's been 14 years. More than 6,000 students across 15 different states. Um, Another important point, $30 million in scholarships so far. So this is the reported scholarship so far. So it feels good to share that information. So I'm so happy to welcome you guys to the first non-mask uh, class after 2 years. We had a strict mandate from the CDC to have mask requirements for students, and they felt very uncomfortable. Waiting for 2 hours, and I couldn't see them. There's no, so glad to see that we are off the mask, and this is actually the first time we had so many parents actually here. Everybody has been online as well. So, welcome to the face-to-face group. Welcome to the online group. So, uh, it's really really surreal for us, and uh, last time we were handing out masks and it was just a whole different scenario, but this time this feels back to normalcy. So glad to be back to those days. So online parents, welcome to the online version of this class. This is a combined regular and advanced group for parents. The other group is for students. Lauren is starting with ACT reading today, so there's no introduction. Just we're gonna get started with the business. So um, this is a very informal session, and I hope you guys have your questions prepared to ask. The best way I say is put me in the spot so that we get the best benefit out of this. And I anticipate this session to go till at least an hour, based on how many questions it is. And of course, I have a lot of information to share as well. Another first point, if you want to write down this, the video what we record for parents, please make sure your kids watch this, because that was actually something we never used to do it till a parent said, Manoj, this is such an important information. Don't you think they should watch this? It's like, yeah, great idea. So this is actually very, very helpful for your kids to watch. And I've asked for parents to have their questions ready. So during my presentation or anything like that, stop me and ask questions, so that it will be very productive. So we have a combined regular and advanced total around 28 students. We used to actually have 50 students, uh, but during the pandemic, it has slowed down a little bit, and there is a huge discussion about whether ACT and SAT are required or not. So we'll talk a little bit about it. Um, but if you want to type your notes in your phone or your notepads, we're going to get started right away. Again, welcome to this prep class. This is probably the best day of my life, when I get to see parents and students back. So let's get started. And I'm going to turn my phones off so that otherwise it'll keep buzzing all day. So, all right, so let's get started. And I hope people can see me here. So here you go. All right. The first thing first, um, starting next starting next Sunday, the classes go from 4 to 6 p.m. So last time there was a confusion that they thought it was always 4 to 5. Only this today is going to be 4 to 5, but it's basically 4 to 6 p.m. on Sundays. And this is Central Time, and we have students from different states, so we want to make sure there's a clear understanding. Second, there is no class on Labor Day and Thanksgiving Sundays, so people can start making plans. All right, now we get to the business end of this. First, if your son or daughter is going to be 11th grader or a 12th grader this semester onwards, they'll be taking both the October and the December ACT tests. And I need to explain this why we want them to take both. And this is something many people don't know this. So, if the October ACT happens to be a tough test, we have seen historically December ACT turns out to be much easier, called twin testing. So if you take this October, the hard one, and you skip the December one, and then you take the Feb, you miss the cycle. You miss the cycle. And if this is easier, usually this comes out to be difficult. Even though ACT does not agree to that they think it's all the same, trust me, it's not. We had a student who got a 34 in a December test and got a 26 in the Feb test. So there has to be a difference. And this is especially true if you're a senior, because, and we'll have a lot of things to discuss about the ACTs and stuff like that, but every single point matters, significantly matters. So which will be a good segue to our next discussion, but if you're going to be in 10th grade or in 9th grade this time, I would like to take the December ACT test. This for 11, 12, this is for 12, 9 and 10. And we have some middle school students as well, and we'll be talking to the parents to them differently. But 9th and 10th graders, December ACT, and if you're in 11th and 12th, you'll be taking the October and December. This is very important. I wouldn't miss it. If your son or daughter is gonna be in 11th grade this time, they'll be taking the PSAT, the National Merit test in October of this year at school. So we started this class yesterday, so I was here actually teaching the full 2 hours, and this is for 11th graders. But if you're in 10th grader, you still can take our class if you're interested, but that score doesn't count. Only in 11th grade it counts. This is the most underrated test I've seen in the United States, K through 12, because they think what's a big deal. I'll tell you what's a big deal is. First, if you become a National Merit semi-finalist, you automatically now become a finalist. That means you automatically start getting all these scholarships. Iowa State has a full tuition for the National Merit finalists. USC, University of Southern California, has $100,000 scholarship if you're a finalist. So tremendous benefit with this. And plus, this looking at these scores is only going to help you in your admissions. So I keep a very key eye on this. Whether people agree or not is a different story, but this is one of my favorite programs because this directly corresponds to money. The next discussion, which is something actually Wayne and I are in Siouxland Chamber of Commerce board, and I just happened to on Tuesday present it to the whole board about whether the whole thing about ACT, SAT, whether it's required or not, everybody's going test optional. I'm almost feeling that I'm going to send those slides to all the parents actually. I really think you guys should read that information. I've spent hours researching that one. So here's some important things to remember. If it is test optional, if the college says test optional, doesn't mean you should not submit it. You still can submit your scores. There is something called blind test optional. That means the colleges are instructed by the Board of Trustees not to look for the scores at all. It's called blind test. But many colleges don't go there. UC system is planning to go there, University of California system. But test optional means you can submit the scores, they may or may not use it. But that's only for admissions. But for scholarships, you need ACT or SAT scores. So We had tremendous issues last couple of years where students did not take the test and they wondered why they didn't get the scholarships. So just to give a data, um, just to give a data, in 2019-2020 cycle, 73% of the students submitted their ACTs or SAT scores. But last year, we had only 40% submit the scores because it was test optional. So the graph was literally like this, and you'll see my graph, it's like this. So you can see a significant drop here. What these people don't realize is that you most likely are eliminating yourself from some good scholarships options. So think twice before you come to the judgment of whether you want to submit, whether you want to have that discussion with your kid, ACT test optional or not. So this has been a huge issue. I get calls all the time about this, whether they should do that. So imagine, let's say Wendy is from one state, second state, and third state, three different states. They all have 4.0 GPAs, and let's say they've taken the same courses. Now they have nothing same though, like ACT or SAT submit. How would I make a decision? Right? How would I make a decision? If everything remains same, other than the thing that will differentiate usually is the SAT scores, then I'm taking a crapshoot at this and say, okay, well, I'm going to go with Bill, and boom. MIT just reinstated ACTs and SAT scores just after 1 year. They were planning to do a 2-3 year study. They just reinstated back. University of Georgia, Georgetown, they all are reinstating ACTs starting this year. Because in 1 year, they're already finding out that the students who are enrolled are already struggling in the college. And I was telling Bill that, we had some of the students who are now freshmen in college. The college has not even started, but they have some programs to get started, kind of tutoring, just to warm up. And we are already getting help for physics and chemistry and calc. The three most common we are getting requests was, first is calc, physics, and chemistry, in that order. So, and students, we are seeing a drop in their MCAT scores. New Horizon, I do MCAT mentoring, we have MCAT tutoring. We're seeing a drop in MCAT scores already. Because MCAT is not going to change. It still is a 7.5 course exam. So that won't change. The reason I'm telling you guys this is, whether believe it or not, depends on whom you ask, I think the pandemic is almost getting to an end. That's how I see it. No politics or anything like that. But so things are going to go back to normal as well in education. So we are seeing an enrollment increase in that college. Hopefully the highest ever enrollment ever at our college in Winnebago, Nebraska, at Little Priest Tribal College. So if that happens, so we feel things are going back to normalcy. So this will start going back to normal days, 2019 days. So I would not take a chance and gamble with this. So talk to your kids about this test option. Other thing they're really looking into, big time, and I had a couple of discussions with our a couple of admission officers, is college essays, called Common App essays. This is now the top requirement of evaluation. Bill and Melody, I hope you won't mind using you guys as examples. Bill and Melody are actually doing our college consultation program with us, and we have met already many times, and his son is almost ready to submit applications and stuff. Their son, John Paul, we went through his essays like, I just approved it today actually, 8 essays, 8 drafts. We went back and forth. I'm pretty sure nobody likes it.
And you didn't see how many times we went through it with them too. So.
Oh yeah, so we had actually one kid, we are working with them. He's on his 13th draft, and I think if he sees me, he's gonna just beat me up or something like that. So we are evaluating every single word. Forget about everything else. And I know Aaron Jody's son, Soren, started with us just now. We had a meeting, and this is the most concerning aspect for me is, okay, this is what I hear. Okay, I don't want to deal with all these things. I'm going to send my kid to local schools. That's what I get to hear, which is absolutely fine. USD, Iowa State, great colleges. I just wanted to let you guys know when I applied for graduate school at Iowa State from India, I got rejected from my graduate school. Iowa State is considered one of the top chemical engineering programs in the world. But just because you don't want to spend time on it doesn't mean that your kid is forced to go into that school because it's local. Because you may miss out on the scholarships and stuff like that. So, college essays is the first one they're looking at it. Second is GPA. Third is recommendation letters. And based on which college it is, ACT comes into picture somewhere here. Some colleges, like MIT, are going to put back ACT at the top one. And some other schools will have essays. This seems to be the discussion is the essays. I just can't emphasize how many times we get told, we want to read the essays, we want to know the kid. This is the most important one. So, New Horizon provides two or three different programs, and I really want to emphasize that one. The first one is called FACP.
Manoj, quick question.
Yes.
Do you think as we get back to normal with regards to COVID, do you think the focus will go back to ACT and SATs and away from the essays and GPAs and reference letters as well, or do you think those are here to stay?
It's funny you asked that. I exactly asked the same question to the admissions officer. They think ACT is going to be the first now, but they still think essays are going to be the second. They still think essays are going to be mattering, and they actually, you won't believe this, they think third is going to be recommendation letters, and fourth is GPA. Because GPA, what does GPA indicate? It indicates a student has taken a test at school for a fixed curriculum and is able to transpire it in the test, right? But ACTs and SATs cover a large curriculum. You have to have a large capacity. Like college expects you to, right? Colleges have comprehensive tests, the whole semester test. So, and GPA matters from which school you're in. It's not GPA period, it's GPA from which school matters. Dallas College Prep at 3.7 GPA, you're at top of the top. But a 4.0 from local schools may be perceived a little bit different. Because every school has been placed in a high school ranking system. So every school in the United States, public, private, has been ranked. So that ranking matters. So they compare your GPA with the ranking system and how many AP classes you have taken.
What about geographical location? Doesn't that play a big part into college acceptance too?
And your zip code. Yeah. So for rural versus non-rural, yes, sir.
So you say AP classes, what if you were taking like a college credit class where you're not actually taking an AP test, but you're taking curriculum that's supposed to be college?
So, I was actually one of the few first when I was a chemistry faculty worked on the dual credit in 2006 with Iowa legislation actually. So a dual credit is only giving you college credit so that you have to take less credits in college to graduate. Colleges do not care about it, especially the top schools. But if you're applying for a local school, for example, at Little Priest Tribal College, you come and take, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 dual credit courses, let's say 18 credit courses. Our 18 credit courses will directly transfer to UNL, Nebraska Lincoln, as 18 credit hours. So the student will now be taking only 128 minus 18 credits at UNL. But that 18 credits, let's say he wants to go to A&M or Austin or Harvard, they don't transfer those. And they do not provide you the value you have taken through for admissions or for placement. So it depends early on where your kid might end up with matters. So my son, let's say he decides to go to, for example, University of Nebraska Lincoln. I'm going to make him take as many courses at Little Priest as possible, collect the credits, transfer to UNL, so you have to pay less fees at UNL, which they don't like. Let me tell you that. And then he's going to graduate 1 or 2 years early. So that's the strategy.
Do
So
the grades transfer into, or is it just the credit?
okay, good, excellent question. So, as a college president, I deal with this almost every week when students transfer. So there is, when you see the transcript, that is called a transfer credit, no GPA. So if you get good A's here at UNL, they don't give you that placement. And if you go to UNL and start sucking there, you'll have a very bad GPA because your gen ed courses is not going to help you there. So you want to, so GPA doesn't travel from one school to another school. 99% of the schools don't transfer their GPAs, they only transfer the credits. So that's another, I would say one of the few disadvantages with taking dual credit courses is your gen ed courses, GPA, which usually backs up on the toughest courses, you won't have that leverage unless there's a written articulation, which I've hardly seen anywhere. This has been excellent so far. Yes.
So on the AP side.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use myself as an example.
Sure.
I'm a native Spanish speaker.
Sure.
I took 2 years of French in high school, decided, and I'm taking the AP Spanish test. I got a 5.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to my college, they gave me an elective credit, but I still had to take an upper level class
Spanish class.
to qualify. So I ended up taking Spanish literature, which in actuality was actually harder if I just taken Spanish 1 and 2 like most people. So how does the actual grade on the AP test, whether you get 3, 4, or 5, actually make a difference when you actually get accepted?
Can I ask you which college?
I went to North Carolina A&T and I went to Carolina for a semester.
Okay, so there are 2 aspects to AP. Actually, this is something you guys want to write down this, by the way. It's a huge topic, so this is really important. So, AP stands for Advanced Placement. There's a lot of variations. The first thing you have to know is how many APs your school offers. You should write on this one. This is so crucial. So let's say, so how many APs? And the reason you need to know this is the college admission officers will know this information. So Lincoln High School in Sioux Falls, for example, I believe has 26 APs. And I think Bishop Heelan High School, maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, I don't know, something like that. They have that information. So if you're in Lincoln High School and you have 26 APs and let's say you take only 1, so look at the percent AP you have taken, 1 divided by 26. But if you're in Heelan, that's why the zip code matters at the time, 1 divided by 4 is 25%. That means you have attempted more APs. But what really matters is not your how many classes you've taken, what is your how many AP tests you have taken, and what is your AP scores. AP is not a class, AP is a test. They use it as a class to train the material, but it's the test that matters, which is 1 to 5, by the way. Now, let's talk about in your situation. In the earlier days, I'm talking about 2005, 2008, when I started the company, majority of the students who had an AP 5 got credit equivalency in the colleges. So let me explain what a credit equivalency is. So I used to teach undergrad chemistry for a long time. So if you have an AP 5, those students get Chem 1 and Chem 2 credit at the college. Then they directly go to organic in their freshman year. This is amazing, by the way. Slowly, what do you think they stopped this? Why do you think? I want somebody to take a crap at this.
They crashed and burned.
They crashed and burned. Okay.
They weren't doing well in organic.
Well, organic is tough for anyone.
1 point. Okay, agreed. Next, let's see. I want to see who
It's
nailed.
about the money, I think.
It's about the money. Because if they give the Chem 1 and Chem 2 credit, they take organic, so they lost the revenue coming from Chem 1 and Chem 2, which is a 5 credit at Western Iowa Tech when I started there. 5 times so many credit hours, that revenue is gone, and our name is on the transcript that I'm giving you the credit. So we give the credit, but we didn't get the revenue. So now what they do, so instead of giving you course equivalency, so this stopped. Now they're giving you course honors. That means you get a 5, we think you're awesome, we're gonna put you in honors Chem 1, honors Chem 2. But I'm gonna end up taking that money, and we wanna make sure that doesn't happen. What Aaron just said, we don't want you to suck at organic. Which is what we saw, by the way. You wanted 5. You wanted 5. But it's mainly the revenue that decided, the college board that decided the reason. So, I don't know what happened in your specific case about Spanish, but remember you have to have 4 years of foreign language. Spanish 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you don't have to worry about in college foreign language requirements. But if you had an AP Spanish 5, they should have put you in honors or given you the credit equivalency at the time. So that's the only 2 choices we had. But I'm a big believer in this, by the way. United States has done an excellent job in starting AP courses. It gives you intensity, what a college would look like. And the best thing is, it's a curved. So they take all the students who took the test and they went into 5 quartiles. The top quartile is, usually that's it. It changes from test to test, but that's the usual logic basically they use. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the lowest is 1. And
So they're standardized, there's no objectivity on it.
no, that's why I like about this, because the test is tough and you're graded strictly on the answers, the methodology you've written. It's not just final answer, by the way. It's actually is a methodology. So I'm a certified AP Chem reader, so it's really is a good one. And I would report to the college if your kid has a 3, 4, or 5. 1 and 2, I would try to avoid it. Even though 3 doesn't have any placement value, 3 says that you have a pretty good knowledge. 4 and 5 starts giving you honors or placements. So some schools do this. If you have a 5, they'll bypass your Chem 1 and put you in Chem 2. That's your course placement. At 4, they'll give you honors Chem 1. So there's the different models they use. But the logic behind here is to give you some sort of push with the AP score. But it also really depends on what percent of AP classes you have taken and what percent of that of test you have taken. So I've had a student who had taken 12 AP classes. He's from Sioux Falls, but he did not take any test. He took the class. Good student, by the way. 28 ACTs. So if I look at his application as an admission officer, like, why? Why didn't he not take it? Remember, admission is staying in the race as long as possible without giving them a reason to eliminate you. And that would eliminate me, like this. Yes.
I'm not sure that that's shared very well at the school levels either. I mean,
Sorry.
this whole information with AP and needing to take the tests, you know, you might have a student might take it and then there's not necessarily the guidance to follow up with the test. So as a parent, you kind of have to figure this out yourself.
Yeah.
And this is why I believe, and this is my mistake to be honest, because I never used to talk about this program. It was like whenever somebody called me and asked to explain. It is called Family Academic Consultation Program. It's usually families do 1 or 2 hours consultation or one time only, whatever it is. And we went through their whole transcripts. I evaluate the transcripts and I talk about and I would love to start this in 8th grade spring semester in the month of Feb, because March they have to confirm so what we do we had a family from Kansas City just contacted me. So I sat with the family and went through their whole 4 years course and looked at catalog, how many APs they have. They have everything in by the end of 8th semester. Okay, this is what I'm seeing, the big picture. If you don't have the big picture, then you're gonna miss out on these things. And that student wants to go to University of Kansas. Good, smart kid, but he wants to stay close to home. Total respect that. But so we contacted the University of Kansas, talked about scholarship requirements. 4 years in advance, we have a kind of game plan. It might change a little bit here and there, but we have a game plan of how many APs, what APs, how the tutoring is going to assist him or her. Like we have planned out everything for him. So it's really very important to have a game plan. That's the whole point of this, is to have a game plan. This is the one thing I really like to do with parents. This is for the family, the whole kid and stuff. The other one, which is what Aaron and Bill's family are doing, is the college consultation. And if you're interested in this one, we have one spot available this coming year. We only take 4 families. It's a lot of work, especially if your kid is in 11th grade. If your kid is in 12th grade, I would rather do this one and not a college consultation because we won't have time for it. But we will do this one. So this is for 10th, especially 11th, maybe 10th. But 11th is preferred, and this is for anybody starting, I would say, it's middle school. We'll do family consultation program.
Manoj, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
This is regarding AP. Let's say hypothetically, I'm gonna use AP Chem as an example.
Yes.
Let's suppose you test, you get a 5, you get to the school of your choice, and they're like, we're gonna let you bypass Chem 1. Can you, as a student, say, I don't know that that's in my best interest, I think it better, I go in, get the additional training, cover the material again, get an A in here, it's gonna be better for me in the long run. I mean, can you do stuff like that?
It's called a course choice, CC course choice. In a course choice, you can actually trump the college's recommendation. They can never force you to actually move to the next level if you're not comfortable. So course choice will help you stay in the course. And it has been done significantly lately, especially in Calc AB. So I had a student with a 5 Calc AB, got a placement to Calc 2, which is a BC course. So what happened, he's like, you know what, I'm good at math, I just don't want to screw up, and I'm an engineering major. Took college Calc 1, nailed it. Took Calc 2, nailed it. Took Calc 3, nailed it. And this is what they did. They did the FACP program. I said, why take a chance? Why take a chance? Because you take Calc 2, so if you take the Calc series, I'm a chemical and petroleum engineering major, so I did Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3. This is the Calc series in college. So it's Calc 1, Calc 2, and Calc 3. So there's a significant activation energy, chemistry word by the way, to cross this one. And if you don't do it, you're gonna come back and keep coming back. Calc 3 is much easier than Calc 2 is. So if you're a pre-med major, ask your college right away what is your calc requirements are. Okay? Every college has different calc requirements. But engineering majors all have to take another course called differential equations, which is here, somewhere here. So this is the series the engineering students take. So does that answer your question, Aaron?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Do colleges still provide you with the proficiency test when you come in for orientation for placement, or are they just solely dependent on AP tests and classwork?
The placement test usually is called the AccuPlacer, is only given to students if they don't make the cutoff ACT requirements. Our college students take quite a bit of AccuPlacer. So, but that is to place students only if, 2 reasons. If you have not taken ACT, this is where the test option really hurts you, because eventually they will want to know where you're going to test on. Or if you take the placement test and you don't meet the requirements, then you'll be placed in that level. So we have a sheet of paper, we tell every student, hey, if you have an ACT score of 23 in math, you've taken college algebra, good, you're fine. But if you have an 18, you take the placement and we will tell you, based on your test scores, where we're going to place you. So you lose control completely when you start becoming test optional, which is what I beg parents understand the gravity of the situation you're putting your kid in. So I would be very, very, I'm just worried about this, period. This is a bad move. This is really a
Our
bad move.
oldest went to a school where testing ACT was optional to get in,
Uh-huh.
but it eliminated like 60% of the kids that were gonna try to apply for some scholarships because they didn't have the ACT score.
Was it Ryan?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, he went, yeah, so.
But Ryan took our class and he
yeah,
took
Ryan
the
did-
test.
Ryan did well, yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah, it was,
okay.
but it also took a big
Scared me
pool-
for a second. I was like,
a
oh
big
my God,
pool of
Ryan.
potential competitors for scholarships out of it.
That's
because they
good.
didn't take it.
That's good. It's Ryan's profit. You know what? I should start doing. I should when my son becomes in 10th, 11th grader. Oh, please. It's
Don't take
awful. Don't take it. I'm gonna write an article in Sioux City Journal how awful it is, and then he gets a 35, and it's like, yay. No. It's I thought Ryan did not take the test. I was like, oh my goodness. No, Ryan was a great student. So what did? Okay, anyway. He was doing very well in the class. So I was like, okay, yeah. But that's exactly what I'm trying to. This is for admissions, not for scholarships. And they have the software system. You type in the values, right? You type and it spits out a number, dollar amount. So if it's zero, it automatically says zero. As a college president, I have that advantage of looking the other side. I just had a meeting with 2 months or 3 months back with University of Minnesota Chancellor, and I asked the same question. Hey, what do you think about this? She's like, let's go out. Are you not recording? I said, no, don't worry, just done. She's like, oh my God, we are having a horrible time. So, yeah. This worries me. I really do. It really do worries me. So we have spots open for this. We have one spot open for this. I really want you guys to think through this very carefully. The next thing is, if you want to write down the next important date, is December 3rd. December 3rd. That's 1 week before the December ACT. From 1 to 4 p.m. we are doing an ACT review. This is one of our famous programs. We had pre-pandemic, we used to have 80, 90 students take this. There's a fees of $75. You can Venmo, PayPal, or just whatever. We are going to restrict to usually 30, 32 students now because it becomes really hard. Anybody taking the December test or the Feb test, I don't want them to miss this. It's a pretty intense program. And it's not just for New Horizons students, it's for anybody else. So, but we'll wait for the New Horizons students to enroll in it, then we open it up. We had a student from East High School from Sioux City last year take this program. She was not our student, she just showed up for this. She went from a 28 to 31. And she got a full tuition at Morningside University. So, this is awesome. This is awesome. Next, how many of you don't have access to GroupMe? GroupMe app. Okay, good. Which then I can talk about homework then, the fun part. All right, so we'll be, for regular level, I already posted the homework, but the advanced we're going to do it today evening. For some reason it's not loading up, so we're going to reformat it and load it up. We just had a parent sign up at like 2 p.m. today. They signed up, they were about to pay, they're like, Manoj, is there homework? I said, yes. Then they said, no, we're not going to register. Without this class is not useful for your kids. Coming here for 2 hours, they're going to learn strategies, they're going to learn everything. It's going to be like a college level class. There is going to be intensity here. But if you cannot do the homework, you just can't cut it. So it's going to be around 2 to 2.5 hours per week of homework. And we do not want this to be done in one sitting on a Sunday 2 hours before the class. You guys know what I'm saying. So, and they don't have to turn in the homework. You just talk to them, you have the sheet, they have, and by trust, based on trust, we're like, okay, they have done. So this is how the class is designed. If you come to every class, or if you miss any class and watch the recorded session, plus do the homework, for the regular level, we have seen an increase from 3 to 6 points. Composite point increase. And for advanced, it's from a 2 to 7 point increase. And I'll tell you why I say that's a huge range, because we had a student with 33 sign up with the class for advanced level, got to 35. And that's a very tough thing to happen. I just want you guys to know that. But we had a student with a 28 from Sergeant Bluff a couple of years back. It was a summer class. Oh, he's a wrestler, amazing kid. did not miss a class. Work. That was the last summer before the pandemic happened. He put in so much effort. He went from a 28 to a 35. Got a full ride. That is a success. And a student with 11 went to a 21. That's the success we had. So it's not where we start, it's where we end based and doing the effort for that one.
So what's the difference in the curriculum between the regular and the advanced? Or is there,
Significant.
okay,
Significant, and I can list three things. Math, when we do the regular, we usually train students to get to around 26, 27, 28. Because if you try to cover,
yeah,
and advanced, we take them 26, 27 to a 36. English, we try to get them done with all questions instead of 45 minutes. We want to get them in around 38 minutes so that we really give them time to work on one or two. Science passages are much more difficult in advanced than the regular, because regular students are not, exposed to the different intensities. So usually students do a regular level, get a good feel of it, then take the advanced. So the progression is, I'm looking at a kid, for example, who started with a 25 in fall 2020, took a regular, went to a 29, took, it's not my fault, 29, and then 29 to a 33. It was nice progression, no tension, no overwhelming. Oh no, kids
yeah.
get overwhelmed.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yes,
if
but
there was
it-
different homework.
Huge difference.
Okay.
The books are different, the intensity is different. Overall, just the feel of this course is advanced is very, and that's why we tell parents when they put in advance, okay, I make sure that they're ready for it. And last semester, when Garrett was in the regular level, we actually removed a couple of students from the advanced and put it back to regular because they were looking at me like a deer in the headlights since on the first day. I was like, okay, they are not ready. We don't want them, right? We
Yeah.
want them to enjoy this process, not to be a torture. Because advanced math starts from trig and pre-calc. Next week is actually trig and pre-calc, and very strong algebraic skills they need. So that's a good point. Anything else? Anything else you can think of? Yes.
So I used to serve on a committee that reviews some scholarships for that are given locally.
Mhm.
When we talk about essays, as a reviewer, I'm looking at, can I capture the essence of the kid, right? Are they answering the questions that we ask to be answered through our question for the essay? But one of the things that I find is you don't embellish and so,
Sorry, what did you say?
there's not embellishment in
No.
them. So when I went to school, it was all about embellish. We're using adjectives like great versus fabulous, I don't know. But when I talk to some of my friends that are college, they're college admission officers at regular schools, like a state school, they're not at a fancy school. One of the things that they talk about is we don't have an essence of who the child is
Yep.
because we don't have anything in their essay that explains what they are passionate about. So when it comes about volunteering or, special projects, what are those key things that they need to have in that essay?
That's what we focus the most on. So we have a two reviewer system at New Horizon. So the first reviewer does is grammar checks, content, and all those things. And these are two independent reviews. And they're right here. They experienced this 3 days back. So, and then it came to me, where I see the big picture. When I read an essay, which is usually I take 5 minutes, I start the timer, I read it in 5 minutes. If I cannot justify, because that's what the usual time they get, after I read 3 or 4 lines, yeah, I'm done. So for example, this is a question that was asked to University of Michigan, supplemental question. This one was a kid who from Ida Grove, Iowa. He went to engineering, actually 35 ACT. But the question was, which is the high school activity you would like to do at University of Michigan? 100 characters. Okay? 100 characters, not 100 words. And he's like, I would love to continue to play golf. It's like, well, they didn't mean to ask you golf. They want to know about you through golf. It's like, what's wrong? I don't want to waste their time. No, 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 no. That's not the point. So this is how we shifted it. We really had to brainstorm with him because he was not getting that point. This activity is the most frustrating experience sometimes, most rewarding sometimes. So we kind of triggered them to read the whole thing. And the last word is, and the activity I would like to continue is golf. But I made them read the whole thing. If you cannot read, they won't know what the character is. So they will look at the character, and that's what I look at the essay is, can I know this kid through this 650 words? College App, Common App essay is 650 words. So 650 words, if I can know him, there's a good chance that that kid did not make a connection with me. And remember, it depends on his or her mood. Maybe he fought with his wife when he came to, you have to take all these moods and all this. Usually though, we actually can read it in 5 minutes and say, this essay is going to make it. Some of our essays, some of our students have written amazing essays. We have made really top marks. We had some top school scholars and say, how did you guys get to this point and everything? So one example I want to give is Northwestern. This kid was from Bishop Hill in high school from Sioux City, and she wrote an essay which was not cutting to us. This Common App. So we kind of tweaked, and this is how we started the essay. We wrote it as $12, ... and talked about the whole thing. But we never in the essay we told them what the $12 were. So when they're reading, they kept looking for where the $12. What is the $12 for? At the end, ... This is how much my mom makes per hour. And Northwestern gave a $278,000 scholarship to her. She had to pay $46 per month for 4 years, and that was what she was left with. Kylie, she didn't remember her. So the point here is, that's why when we used to take more. Trust me, I was stupid when I did that. One time we had 22 families do this, and there was no life for me. Saturday, Sundays, 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Now we can only restrict to 4 a.m., 4 families, and so that we can control it. And otherwise my wife will kick me out. I'll have to end up staying in the daycare and night care. So hopefully she's not watching today. So that's I really think. And another point I want to talk. I know I'm a parent too. My kid is 7th grade, and daughter is starting 1st grade. I'm at that point. I'm seeing that transition happening to him. For me, it's everything. He asked me a textbook, I'll get him. He asked me a pencil, I'll get him. It's not an expense for me, it's an investment. He's thinking about a book means he's really thinking about education. So he went, Dad, I want this book. I said, okay, what do you want? Boom, boom, boom. He's like, you didn't ask me why I'm using it. I said, no. The minute you are thinking about a book, it's a win for me. And I laid out him how much dollars I'm ready to spend on you, on tutoring and other things. I told him, this is what I've planned out for you. But if you get that scholarship, I just made money from you. I was telling Wendy about that. So if he ends up getting 3 points more than what he could have got it, that's $30,000 in scholarship. So by the way, if you want to know, the average is for 1 point increase after 28 is $10,000. That's the average to remember. That's the average we live by. All colleges, combined, I'm talking about some schools have 4,000, some say 30,000, but averages after 28, a 10 grand increase in 4-year scholarship. But it's not only just the money aspect, it's the confidence these kids will get that I know I'm doing something to make a difference to my parents' finances. That's what they think about it. So I had a student who went to USC, got into WashU. USC, she got 100 grand scholarship. WashU, she got 8,000. WashU was ranked higher than USC in pre-med, but she went to USC. She's like, you know what? I'm going to save that money for my dad and mom. They're like, oh, I have the money. I'll pay for it. It's not about you. It's me doing something back to you. And she graduated from USC and all those things. But the point here is, so it's not just the money aspect. It's the rewarding experience they go through, their achievement. They feel like tangible achievement and something they want to give back to parents. And I've seen this happen quite a bit, by the way. So it's just not the finance that will help you have less burden, but it also the reward they want to give it back to you for all the stuff you have done over the years. So that's how I see things as well. Online parents, do you have any questions? I know you guys been quiet, so I know I hope I didn't bore you guys. Anybody want to say anything?
Yeah, I have a few questions. I put it in the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see any of it. Let me see. Okay. Okay, can you talk about HR high school? Oh, high school ranking system. What is it and how is it used during the application process? So, every college has been ranked by the college board system and the US News of how each college is ranked. So, for example, let's say my brother's son, who actually is in class 2, by the way, he goes to Mission High School in California, ranked 8 in the nation. And let's say he gets 3.9 GPA. And let's say Dakota Valley student from South Dakota here, I believe it's not in the top 2,000. He gets a 4.0. Oh, 4.0 is better than 3.9. But where the GPA comes from, the origination of the school, then the weighted average to that particular kid will be way higher than a 4.0. That's how they use the ranking system, is the weightage they give during the rubric system. They have a rubric system they use. And the other is, are the prompts for essays different every year? And when are they actually released for students to start working on them? Okay, if you want to write down this, it opens on February 1st. Feb 1st of every year. 95% of the chance it will not change. It will not change.
What was the question?
For the when the Common App essays open up, when you can start working on it. And that's what we did for many of the families, by the way. That was the day we started, actually. And that's why we are almost done with everything. And then prompts do not change for the Common App. There are 7 prompts. This time they changed only 1. But I doubt they will change it next year.
So February 1st would be the date for anyone graduating next year.
It's in
Graduating
11th
in-
grade now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
11th grade now.
exactly.
Got it, okay.
So what we do is through the college consultation program, that's why I said 11th grade. So Aaron's kids, Soren is in 11th grade now. So we met with them, get the first transcript evaluation done. I'm talking, they're volunteering, all those things. So we have the baseline done for them. Now I'm gonna work with them on college visits. Then as soon as we have done all the background work on February 1st, I say, hey, I want you guys to start the login system, select the prompt, and we start working on the essays. By July 31st for Soren next year, we want to have the Common App done, everything done, and we want to start submitting the application in the first week of August, which is the official release of the transcripts and everything for the next admissions. So right now we have a kid from Brandon, South Dakota. He's already submitted to 6 colleges. So here, boom, 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 done, boom, 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 done. So we should be able to start doing submission for John Paul pretty soon. So only because we started early. But if you ask anybody else, they're like, oh, we'll start in August or September. It's like doing laundry. If you have to eventually do the laundry, why might start early, right? You want to, otherwise it'll be a pile. So this will be a big laundry, and it's going to stink pretty soon. And one more thing, I want you guys to remember this, because this is something, it's on the website, by the way. If you apply late, not late means like, for example, for early action admission, the deadline is usually November 1st. But if you apply, let's say October 25th, or very close to the due deadline, the website actually says that we do not guarantee an alumni interview. We do not guarantee that for you guys. So they are saying do it now, do it quicker. It's, if they are saying on the website, that means it's 10 times more serious. And that's what happened to Kylie for Harvard, by the way. So we had everything ready for Kylie, okay? And we're like, let's wait. It's all done, let's keep checking. So we submitted on Halloween Day, I still remember that. And Harvard calls and it's like, why did you wait till October 31st? I said, due date is November 1st. Yes, we know that, but you're not going to make the alumni interview because the decision has to be made on December 15th. So she missed the Harvard and she was on the waiting list. So, does it happen for every student like that? No. But this is the reason why that year we changed. That was in almost like 6-7 years back. We changed the policy at New Horizon to start on February 1st. I'd create a group message and I'd go ask them how many messages I get. Boom, all the time I message them. They'll get tired after that. So, but why? Because I don't like missing deadlines. I'm very anal about these things. Very particular. I like a disciplined structure. I've been doing this for such a long time. We had the 574th families started this, by the way, if you want to know. So 574 families have done this program, and many thousands have done this one. This is really simple, and easy. So why? So coming back to your question, did I answer your question? Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
One thing you didn't talk about, that's, not really this, but if they have to miss a class, you're gonna do everything online, so they can, I don't know that Nora's even gonna miss any, but let's just say, I don't know, something comes up and they can't make it. What do you suggest with that?
Okay. So every class, including this, is recorded. So I plan to send a message to parents today, by the way, to the group. So people who miss a class or classes, hopefully not a whole lot. When we upload these videos on the GroupMe app, within 24 hours they need to watch it and make their notes and stuff like that. Within 24 hours. Last semester was pretty bad. We had students wait till the following Sunday to watch it. We have a game plan. We have been doing this for so long. We have removed all the kinks in the system. 24 hours is the best way to do it, because what will happen is then the homework becomes much easier. So, but every session is Wendy is recorded, and yeah.
I was gonna ask you about this after, but since it came up, is that December 3rd review recorded?
Yes, this is recorded.
Okay.
Actually, we had a whole classroom from Kansas City, Pembroke High School. We had like 11 students last year. They had signed up for the class, and that last minute their game practice got changed, and they're like, Manoj, can we still record it, and we want to watch it, and we want to get the test. We get the test, by the way, that day, a separate test. So we did the whole thing. I sent the whole videos, the 3-hour video to them. They practiced what I'm asking them to do. Yeah, this is still recorded, but yeah, and that they get to do the test that day. Yeah, I would not miss this. This is the best. And the next thing is, which is very important as a parent, if you have a question about any academic question, maybe for your other kids or your own kid here, ask me, text me, Manoj, hey, run it by me. It's not my job to just teach an ACT and B. I've been doing this so long, it will not hurt to ask me. But don't regret of not asking me, because I've seen this happen. Like, oh, why bother? I was like, no, this is what I've been doing this for so long. So I can give a recommendation like, hey, I would do this. Like we had a question about AP Calc. So in Kansas City, some of the students are going from pre-calc to AP Calc BC, not AB. And they're placed into that one. And I know this kid, the dad was like, Manoj, what do you think? I was like, I wouldn't do it. If I was a parent, I wouldn't do it. They're like, do you mean that my kid can't do it? I said, I didn't say that. I wouldn't do it because it will put immense pressure on a kid with all the APs and the activities she's doing. That's my logic. Oh, we'll try it. I said, sure, it's your kid. You're the best person to make a judgment. But I'll tell you, I'll give you 3 weeks. You'll call me back on a bet. First week, get a call. I was like, Manoj, we decided to go back to AB. It's a good decision. You didn't wait 3 weeks. Because it's just so hard. The BC is so hard. So don't make that mistake. So just run it by me, please. This is something I really take an immense pleasure of helping parents and students. 6,000 feels really good, by the way. So really good. Any other thoughts, questions? And please participate in the GroupMe app. Keep your kids, talk to your kids so that they keep busy as well. But I hate when this is my, if you want to do the takeaways from this one, I hate when kids don't do this first. Second, I strongly recommend this. This is my first recommendation. Second recommendation, again, because this is only one time or two times. This one is serious. Only if you're damn serious about this. And the rest, of course, you want to ask questions through, text me and stuff like that. But they will have the homework this week, by the way. Because they'll have the ACT reading homework, chapters 13, 14, 15 and we want to get them started. But really want to make sure that these kids go back to those pre-pandemic days where that intensity was so high compared to what we saw in the last 2 years. And we want to bring back that intensity here. So, yes, do you have any question?
Have you seen a big difference in kids that actually come in person versus taking it online? We have kids in Sioux Falls, and so we're kind of deciding like how often do they drive down here? Is there a big difference there?
Absolutely no.
No. Okay.
Actually, not that you should change your mind after this. I've seen the other way around.
Okay.
The online students who attended all classes have done better than all students coming to face.
Okay.
But those students, like a student from Kansas City, summer 2021, attended every class,
Yeah.
did every homework, and was talking to me. She ended up going from a 27 to a 35.
Okay.
Done, one time. She had 27 before our class, 35, but I loved her. I can remember she didn't miss. She was on a beach vacation once, and she was zoomed in from the beach, which I didn't like it because I was seeing the beach more than her. I was like, why are you, turn your camera off. I said, turn your camera off. You can zoom in, but we can't see her. She was like relaxing, all tanned. I was like, and I'm lugging in summertime here. So, no, I would not. If you can't come, I would love to, because then I have a personal connection. But learning, scores, I've not seen any difference.
Okay.
And funniest thing is, we were so ready for pandemic in terms of because we've been doing this in 2016. We have been doing this exactly from 2016. So we have students now from Boston, Ohio, Texas, California. So we have students from all over right now doing this program, and Kansas. So the goal is to attend classes. If you miss for a good reason, review the notes right away in 24 hours and back it up with the homework. And again, we have made more plans this time for kids. It will be more challenging. We're going to push these kids a little bit more, especially on ACT science. We're going to change a little bit. Passages are getting harder and harder, and it's not available in the market. You don't get these things in the market. So I'm doing a lot of discussion with other publishers, but I have a real good game plan. Tutors are already. I'm ready this time, because this math thing was bothering me for 2 years. Now it's all gone, and hopefully we never go back to those days. But you need to show these kids these videos, and it's been such a pleasure seeing you guys, and I hope this was helpful, and I hope you can interact with me by asking questions, text, GroupMe, whatever it is. Wish you guys a great academic year. God bless you guys, and we'll take care of your kids. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, take care.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ray. Thank you. Nice seeing you, Wendy.
Thank you.